taken another moment to share my presentation. Just allow me for a minute. Is it my screen visible? Anybody can confirm, please. Presentation కనబడుతుందా? I think I have to come back. Okay, yeah. Thanks. Okay. Okay, in the last class, we have started with safety appraisal systems. I'll just take 2 minutes for a quick update. Okay. Then we can continue the balance topics. Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so we have seen the safety appraisal system. Okay. So we have seen the objective. Then we have discussed about the different types of the appraisals are. There are qualitative and quantitative appraisals, where the qualitative will be morely on identifying the observations, and quantitatives will talk about figuring out the quantifying the numbers. Here you could able to give your results in a numerical manner. Then we have seen preventive and corrective appraisals. These are nothing but what are the various actions you take to prevent the accidents, and what are the various actions you do correcting the situations or whenever an accident happens. Okay. Then we have seen what are the different appraisal. As I mentioned, this is the one of the standard where IS 14489 it talks about to assess your the performance of an organization. There it covers from scratch to the till end of your safety with respect to operations, storage, your safety committee, policies, investigations, housekeeping, equipment monitoring, etc., etc. Then these are the various qualitative techniques. Appraisals where we do so inspections, checklist. All these are various qualitative appraisal systems. Then we have seen about the damage control. So it is nothing but the severity of injury or physical, functional, or monetary loss that could result if control of the hazard is lost. It means whenever you are failed to control a hazard. So when I say hazard, something which has a potential to harm the humans or environmental damage or a property damage. That is nothing but a hazard which can lead to a create a damage. Then we have seen damage control techniques and benefits of it. Then we have seen total loss control. So here, when we say total loss control, again, here we talk about the preventive measures with respect to the human injuries. and also with respect to the property damage. There is a two-way type of control. Okay. Then we have seen how these develop things have been developed. These loss control systems, like W.H. Henrys and Frank Bird, various safety specialists, they have given their ratios towards these accident cases. Then we have seen fundamentals of this loss control and how we can manage this loss control. It is nothing but how you can avoid prevent the accidents. Then we have seen the few safety appraisal systems, nothing but various the concepts which can be used to control the hazards and prevent accidents. So one is the job safety analysis. Then we have seen advantages. Then we have seen product safety. Then work permit system we have covered. Then we have seen safety tax systems. It is nothing but lotto and also the other tax where we can warn the people do not start or do not operate, or the machine is under maintenance, or the machine is under repair. Then we talked about SOPs, standard operating procedure, and we have seen what are the contents in the procedure. Then we talked about incident recall technique as well. Then critical incident review. Then we discussed about procedure analysis, how you can analyze your procedure which you have made. Then we talked about plant safety inspections. Okay, I think somewhere here we stopped. If I'm not wrong, anybody can confirm. I think from here we need to start. If I'm not wrong, from plant safety inspections. Okay, fine. So, plant safety inspections, I think this is a very basic technique. Even most of the people are familiar with. When we remove about the first two words, plant safety, the inspection is very common. We used to do in our day-to-day life as well. Even you would have done your inspection to your bicycle in your early age. Maybe you would have inspected your motorcycle, you would have inspected your appliances in your home, you would have inspect for something to find, you would have searched for something to find. All these are a kind of an inspection. So but here it is, we're talking about plant safety, which is nothing but your operations safety. So when we say plant safety inspection, it is an old and effective method of appraising plant safety. Its techniques are explained. So now we'll see there is one standard which is BS 3811, where it talks about inspection in the process of ensuring by assessment that the facility reaches necessary standards and quality performance, that the level it is maintained, where you can refer this standard to see or maintain the standards with respect to the safety. And as defined by standard, the maintenance work is under in order to keep restore every facility, that is every part of the site building and the contents to acceptable standards. So when we say maintenance, the standard is, when we say everything is good, so that we have to make all the equipment, processes, facilities, equipments in a proper manner or acceptable standard level. Acceptable standard level means in a acceptable working condition. That is the one of the standard. Thus, the maintenance implies some of measures inspection as part of its function to determine what maintenance is needed and also when, and also whether the result are acceptable. So when we take a maintenance an example, so again it is when it is needed. Again there are different types of maintenance techniques. We have seen preventive maintenance, corrective maintenance, accidental maintenance, etc., etc. So in the general terminology, we see preventive maintenance or breakdown maintenance. These are the two familiar terminologies we could see in our organizations. Okay, fine. Is this my slides are changing properly? So I am at slide number 36. Anybody confirm, please, just to cross check.
Yeah, it is 36 only.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So when we say safety inspection, it is defined that the monitoring function conducted in an organization to locate and report existing and potential hazards which have the capacity to cause accidents in the workplace. So basically, as I mentioned in the earlier, so if you see a general inspection, so we'll have different types of inspections. When we say general, we say bike inspection or car inspection or visual inspection or technical inspection. We say housekeeping inspection or reactor inspection or workplace inspection, etc., etc. When we talk about specifically about safety inspection, it will be done in the organization in a complete level. So it covers everything. So we see about the operational areas, we see about the storage areas, we see about the non-operational areas, everything we cover. So if I take an example as a chemical industry, so where from the gate itself it starts the inspection activities, how the chemical tankers are coming, is there any matchboxes or stoves or which are there in the chemical tanker. So we start with the smoke exhaust. I'm not able to recall. We used to attach a device to the exhaust, whether it is fitted or not. Or we used to do inspections on the tank form areas, we used to do inspections on the pipelines, we used to do inspections on the sometimes the water gutters also, because sometimes any leakage happens, but the water gutters also can give us a clue something is happening in the plant. Sometimes what will happen, especially in the night shifts, if something leakage happens or any spillage happens, they do try to do a cover up, so immediately they will wash with the water. So even it is necessary to do regular inspections on our gutters as well, so that we can understand any chemical spillages. And we do equipment specific inspections like reactor inspections or ANFDs inspections or filter inspections or centrifuge inspections, even tanks inspections, scrubber inspections, ETP, everything we do to identify the existing and as well as potential hazards. When we say existing already, which is there already, maybe the pipe is leaking, or the equipment is giving so much a noise, in certain places there is in a dark spots, there is no proper illumination, or certain process it is not having any fume exhaust system where it is required, or some of them will be a potential hazards. Okay, there will be a chance, okay, which can able to capacity to have. So capacity in the sense that they have a certain ability to create an accident. For example, if you take any sulfuric acid line, you are put in a gasket which is not suitable, or which is not compatible with the chemical, what will happen over a period of time, it will get worn out and there will be a chance. But that is not capacity of the gasket, it is the weakness of the gasket, seeing in a different way. But the hazard is the incompatibility, that is the capacity there. So because of incompatibility, the gasket will be destroyed, then there will be a chance of leakage of that sulfuric acid. Okay, that is about safety inspections. Even here we can see the behavioral aspects as well. So unsafe actions, the people are who not following the safety protocols or practices, or violating the safety protocols, inspection processes, even overlapping or bypassing the safety controls. All these things has to be covered in this safety inspection. Sometimes these inspections happens with a checklist. Sometimes it will happens on a visual level. So checklist will gives us uh, what do you call a space. It can makes our job easy. So because we can able to uh, do the inspection as fast as possible, because we need not to memorize what are the points to be checked or could be checked in that specific location. But the disadvantage is, if you're not updating your checklist on a regular basis, you may missed out a few important points. For example, in case of any changes in the machine, in case of changes in the process, or in case of changes in the material which you are using on specific location, if these updates are not uh, included in your latest checklist, so you may missed out those areas from your inspection. That is the only major disadvantage. An unupdated, unrevised, or old checklist, it is going to give a bad results. Then safety and health inspections ensure that the working conditions, environment, and actions methods conform to the legal or safety requirements, and combine efforts of employers, employees, safety experts, and inspectors to create a safe working environment. Again, it is a combination. So whatever the points we have seen there, few points are again common here. Apart from that, some health related. Even we see the environmental conditions. So conditions in the sense, uh, what kind of atmosphere you are providing in your production area. Is there any presence of continuous fumes or smoke or dust, or high temperatures or low temperatures, slippery surfaces, high humidity, etc., etc.? All these things will be covered in this health and safety with respect to legal requirements also. That's where we see environmental monitoring, etc. Now we'll see the objectives of inspection. So the main objective is to find out the hazards. I mean, pramadalni pasigatadam, and accident causes, unsafe actions or conditions again, losses, and appropriate remedial measures for their prevention and control. So basically, ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్ ఆఫ్ హజార్డ్స్ అంటే ప్రమాదాలు జరిగే ప్రమాదాలను పసిగట్టడము, ఆర్ ద కాజెస్. సో వాట్ leads to accidents. Even for the hazard also, definitely there will be a cause. It is not an inborn thing. For creating a hazard also, there are some situations or some I can say scenarios or circumstances have been created this hazard. For example, uh, basically we see fire hydrant hose boxes or hose reels. I can say, instead of hose box, I'll say hose reel. It is a portable one. It is fixed. It will have a small 1.5 inch pipe. It is dedicatedly for uh, fire suppression systems. But sometimes what will happen, the same hose being used for some other purposes, or because of cleaning or some washing purposes, what will happen, it will get a damage. So whenever any fire incident happens, it will not work. That is also one of the condition or situation. It is leading to a hazard. Okay. Then also losses and appropriate remedial measures. So it is also an objective of inspections to identify the remedial measures to avoid preventive and corrective actions to prevent or control. And also the second objective is to maintain safe working environment, operational profitability, control unsafe actions of people. So to maintain safe work environment, so you are making your environment hazard free, so automatically you will be in a operational profitability. So how will be operational profitability? Everybody or most of the managements think gaskets having any IS codes. So I didn't come across in my knowledge with respect to the gaskets, and you can Google it, Raju. You definitely get it. I'll also check in our break time. I'll come back to you on this. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. So most of the managements they think that safety is an non-profitable business. There is no payback what you are investing on safety. It is not about payback. It is about saving or safeguarding the lives of the people. There is no value for I mean, we can't define or we can't uh, define a value of a human life. So we should not think always safety it is in a non returnable investment. So it is going to help us in a long term. That's where it is operational profitability comes in. Okay, when we say operational profitability, so if your safety standards are in such a level that there is no room for unsafe conditions or there is no room for unsafe actions అంటే మీ ఆపరేషనల్ సిస్టమ్స్ మీ సేఫ్టీ సిస్టమ్స్ ఎంత స్ట్రింజెంట్గా ఉంటే అక్కడ మీకు అన్సేఫ్ యాక్షన్స్ కానీ అన్సేఫ్ కండిషన్స్ కానీ జరిగేదానికి ఛాన్సెస్ లేవు. ఇఫ్ యువర్ అన్సేఫ్ యాక్షన్స్ అన్సేఫ్ కండిషన్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ దేర్, so automatically you are almost reducing or almost you're eliminating 98% of your accidents. So as we seen the portion of accident control or the contribution of accidents, so 80% of it is unsafe actions and 18% it is unsafe conditions and 2% is act of god. So when I control, if you are effectively or able to control operation unsafe conditions and unsafe actions, what will happen? I am capable to prevent 98% of my accidents. So when I am able to control 98% of my accidents, automatically my operations will run on 24 bar 7. Definitely I'll meet the customer requirements. Then I'll be in a profitable side. That is operational profitability. Such a way we have to explain to the top management
Sir,
so that they
can you please repeat about unsafe act percentage and unsafe condition percentage?
yeah. So unsafe actions is 80%, 80. Unsafe conditions is 18, which is 18, and act of God, which is 2%. Act of God is nothing but any tsunamis or world war or floods, etc., etc., which are not in our control.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Okay, let us back to here. So that is how we have to explain with the management whenever they hesitate to give certain budgets to safety. Then to check the statutory provisions of the Factories Act and similar other safety statutory requirement. So, in the while safety inspections, we also cover the legal requirements. When we say legal requirements, health checkups, even lifting tools and tackles, pressure vessels, even safety goggles, PPEs, safety relief valve systems, even the minimum width of staircases like emergency exits and even emergency exit distance from our operations, etc., etc., all will be covered in
Sir,
the safety
sir, excuse me,
inspections.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, before
Yes, Nani.
just before you said, unsafe acts 80%, unsafe condition 18%, act of God 2%. You said, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there any procedure? Is there any procedure or SOP? Is there, sir?
No, it is not an.
How can we tell, sir, like that?
It is a historical data which is read by the safety specialist. They have done a study and they come up with these ratios actually. There is no specific procedure, there is no specific literature for these ratios. Based on their assessments, they come up with a result. If an happening of one incident, so there will be a chance of 80% of accidents happens because of unsafe actions. For example, if I assume in a factory 100 accident would have happened, so because of this 100 accident, 80 accident may be due to unsafe actions, 18 maybe due to unsafe conditions because my equipment is not good, it is not maintained, it is not working in proper manner, I have bypassed, or my workplace condition is not so good, it is completely having fumes or smoke or dust, etc. And 2% is act of god. Yeah, there is no specific reference for this. Hope I have answered your question, Naresh. Okay. Yeah. Coming back to presentation again. So as I mentioned, safety inspections or is one of the objective is to meet the all statutory requirements. The next one, to check the effectiveness of existing systems and to find the improvement if required for purpose of total loss control. So this is also one of the objectives, to see the existing conditions or the healthiness of existing controls. So as I mentioned, the fire hydrant, so is it used for what purposes, whether it is being used for the specific purpose or it's been used for some other activity. అంటే మనకి ఏవైతే ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ సేఫ్టీ కంట్రోల్స్ ఉన్నాయో అవన్నీ ప్రాపర్గా పనిచేస్తున్నాయా లేదా. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సేఫ్టీ రిలీఫ్ వాల్వ్స్ కానీ, లేదంటే లిఫ్టింగ్ టూల్స్ అండ్ ట్యాకల్స్ కానీ, లేదంటే అదర్ కంట్రోల్స్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఎనీ ప్రెషర్ స్విచెస్ కానీ, ఎమర్జెన్సీ పుష్ బటన్స్ కానీ, అర్థింగ్ సిస్టమ్స్ కానీ, ట్రిప్పింగ్ డివైజెస్ కానీ, ఇవన్నీ ప్రాపర్గా పనిచేస్తాం లేదని చెక్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఇన్స్పెక్షన్ అనేది చేస్తాం. And to check quality control, product safety, good manufacturing practices, wear and tear, corrosion test, and also personal selection. This is also one of the objective from the inspections. It is with respect to the out of few points are from out of safety, so quality control of the products. Even GMP practices also, it will give an indirect support to the safety as well. Even wear and tear, corrosion, these are also with respect to safety. Wear and tear, especially in the piping or infrastructure, etc. And to gain workers confidence in organized human activities and factory life. This is also one of the main objective of inspections, so that the people feel confident wherever they are working, they feel okay, we are safe, we are in safe hands. So as I mentioned in the very many sections, so if the people morale is down, so what will happen, nobody is interested to join. So if in a company there will be in a frequent accident cases, so nobody will show an interest to join. So that is where we have to gain the people morale, or we have to gain the people confidence to have a long run of business. Now we'll see different types of inspections. There are basically four types of inspections. One is periodic inspections, then intermittent inspections, general inspections, and uh, special inspections, continuous, statutory. Okay, these are a few inspections. So when we say periodic inspections, basically we do for plant, machinery, equipment, lifting machines, pressure vessels, apparatus, procedures, methods, health of the worker should be examined at regular, a pre-planned period. So it is planned for pre-planned on monthly or quarterly or yearly or weekly, etc. Here we see statutory forms, checklist, or tables, or period of inspections. If any, must be strictly followed. A non-statutory periodicity may be decided according to the need and also according to the need. So non-statutory in the sense which are not statutory requirement, it can be decided based on your requirement. The whole area should be covered, and also plant people should be informed in advance for necessary arrangements. So here we should cover all the areas. We should not leave any specific area without or not covering under the scope of inspection. And also you should inform early. So for example, what will happen in my practical experience, so we'll get in a కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ ఐ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఇన్ తెలుగు ఫస్ట్. సో ఎప్పుడైతే మనము ఏదైనా ఒక ఏరియాకి ఇన్స్పెక్షన్కి వెళ్ళామో ఒక పెన్ను పేపర్ పట్టుకొని అక్కడ అందరూ మనల్ని రౌడీని చూసినట్టు చూస్తూ ఉంటారు. అమ్మ ఈడెందుకు వచ్చాడు రా నాయన సేఫ్టీ వాడు, ఏమో రాస్తా ఉన్నాడో, మన మీద పోయి పైన కంప్లైంట్ ఇస్తాడు అన్నట్టుగా అందరూ కొంతసేపు చూస్తారు. తర్వాత స్లోగా మన దగ్గరకు వస్తారు. ఏంటి సార్ ఏం రాస్తున్నారు ఏంటి, మనం రాసిన అబ్జర్వేషన్లు చూడడానికి. సో బేసిక్ ఏంటంటే దే విల్ ఫీల్ ఇన్సెక్యూర్ on safety. It should not be the case. Once it is built up, it is difficulty to change the culture. Maybe it would have built up before you joining in the organization. That is your bad luck. Even sometimes the management also behaves like that. The people will be always have a fear, or they feel always insecure for talking to the safety department. So you should create a confidence that whatever the observations you are making, you try to explain them, because they are more familiar with the operations, they are more familiar with the equipments, they are more familiar with their people, and also the circumstances and the situations where you are working. Okay, then what will happen? So you should create such an environment that those observations has to be discussed before you are closing your inspection, so that they will also give certain solutions or guidance whether these observations can be taken up or they can correct it at their level. Maybe some of the observations may be needed financial support, or some of them may be needed infrastructure support, or some of the observations may be needed some resources, human or any financial related resources. So before going to finalize your observations, you just talk to the respective area owner, so that they will also feel confident and also feel better with respect to your observations. Okay, so here we have less than 10 seconds. I'm stopping here. We can continue in the after the break.